G'day everyone and welcome to Retrospect Reviews. I'm Vince, and believe it or not, it is the first week in May, which means we have a look at the things that I picked up over April. So let's get into it. Okay, starting off, we're going to have a look at a game that Christine picked up for the Wii U, and that is Yoshi's Woolly World. Yes, I know you can now get it on the Switch, and we probably will get it on the Switch once the price drops down a bit. At the moment, the Wii U version is a little bit more in our budget range. Maybe when the Switch games drop a bit, we might look at getting it on that. But at the moment, we're happy with it on the Wii U, and this copy is in pretty good condition. So happy to get that. Moving on to the original Wii. I only picked up one game for the original Wii, and that was this Avatar game. I picked it up. It looked in reasonably decent condition, and I don't have this copy. This in my Wii collection. Wii games are a bit like PS2 games, and that you see so many of the same low budget titles. So when you see a game that is in good condition and probably would have fetched a decent price at the time of its release, it's always nice to pick up. This one I did pick up in a thrift store in Sydney when I was visiting my brother. So I'm looking forward to heading back down to the big city and looking for some more games.
Powerful! Why don't you use the Avatar stick? With it, you've laid waste to entire Navy fleets!
I can't just turn it on and off,
Alright, another game I found at the same thrift store was a game I've never seen before, and that was Truck Empire. Now this looked pretty interesting. It's kind of got graphics a bit like a Flash game, so I haven't given it a go yet, but I'm intrigued by it. I actually thought this was a cartoon demo, or cartoon DVD, I should say, when I first picked it up. So looking forward to trying it out and seeing how it plays. The case is a bit damaged, but I can just replace that one. So the next game I picked up at the same thrift store was this original Xbox game, Reckless. Kind of reminded me of Burnout. I used to have all the Burnouts on my original Xbox before I gave it to my cousin. But this, I thought, oh, this looks pretty awesome. There's a lot of smashing up and that. But I did this one rookie mistake. It was late in the afternoon and I was getting tired. I still had another 3 hours to drive to get home, and I didn't check the contents, and when I got home the manuals in there, but I found that it actually had Grand Theft Auto Vice City in it instead of the game. So, a little disappointing, but hopefully I'll come across the game down the track. Other than that, it's in really good condition, and it's got the original price sticker on it. It originally retailed in Australia for $98, so it must have been a pretty good game. So hopefully I'll come across the disc. Right, moving on to something I alluded to in the previous video with the channel update. A couple of Tandy Coco 3 games that I've picked up on fairly cheap on eBay. Ones I used to have when I had my original Tandy Coco 3. These came with the Tandy when you brought it back in the day. And this one's the Australian Q&A, or Australian quiz. I'm looking forward to showcasing this to you guys when I get a chance. It's one of the few free games I got when I got given my Tandy Coco 3 back in the mid 80s, something like that. Used to play this one a lot, so I'm looking forward to trying it out, seeing if the questions are easier now that it's 30 years later, or maybe I might still struggle with that one. So I got that one. Plus, along with that, I did also pick up another game that was free when you brought the Tandy Coco 3 in Australia. Was this computer spelling? I'm shocking at spelling, so when I was a kid, this didn't get used very often. So I'm looking forward to loading this up along with the other Q&A one and trying it out and demonstrating it in a video. So got those two. Right, moving on to some big box games that I picked up off eBay. This one I've been wanting ever since it was released back in the 80s. I wanted it for my Commodore 64, and that was Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego. I still am a huge fan of the original. I had the original, which I think I've shown in a pickup of the original Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I had that on my Tandy Coco 3. Always wanted a few of the others that were out at the time, Where in Europe and Where in the USA. So I'm quite happy now to get a really good copy of Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego. Now it's got everything in it. Usually when you pick up some of these second-hand big box Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, usually the booklet is missing. So like in the original there was the World Aldermac. Most of the time people don't put that back in the box, so it goes missing. But this one, it's a Commodore 64 version, and it's complete and in Mickey Mouse condition. So whoever had this before me kept it in really good condition all these years. So it now sits proudly between Where in Space is Carmen Sandiego and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. So I'm still after Where in Europe, and hopefully I do believe there is a couple of Where in the Past in the US is Carmen Sandiego, and Where in Utah is Carmen Sandiego. Now I wasn't aware of those two until recently, so I'm assuming, being more American titles, specific to the American market, it probably might not have been released in Australia, so I might not be able to get those. But yes, I was very happy to get this. It's in, like I said, really good condition. Another game I've been after for a while, and that is Sim Earth by Maxis. Maxis did the original Sim City, did the original Sims. I remember this came out. This is for the Amiga. I remember this came out, and I saw it in the catalogs for Amiga format and so forth. And I always wanted it, but I couldn't afford it. It's one of those games that never really dropped in price for a long time, and yeah, I never really came across it again until I saw it on eBay the other day and got it at a steal. It's in really good condition, and yeah, it goes really nicely with our Maxis collection. We've got a. I'll have to show that one day. We've got pretty much nearly all the big box original Sims games. I think we've got all Sims 2, pretty much got all the Sims 3s, and Christina's still getting the Sims 4. But yeah, so Sim Earth, complete, everything in there, and once again kept in really good condition. The next thing I picked up really isn't a game, it's more hardware, and it is hardware for the PS2. Now, I don't normally pick up much PS2 add-ons, but I couldn't resist this. I remember seeing this advertised, back when I think the original, somewhere between the original PS2 and the Thin was coming out. My uncle was a huge gamer. Him and me used to game on. I think we started on the Atari 2600, and yeah, we played nearly all the consoles right up to. I think we never really played much past the PS2 because I don't think he ever. Yeah, he never. Oh, I think no, he had a PS3. Sorry. So we did play a few games on the PS3, but mainly it was PC, Atari 2600, PlayStation 1 and 2. But I do remember seeing this because for a short period there we got into golf games. And this hooks up. This is by Game Track, and basically you get a golf stick and a tracking mount. But you do the worst thing about this is once you get the add-on devices, you still have to go out and buy the game. So even though I've picked this up, it's still sealed. So whoever brought this never really used it. It's still shrink wrap. Picked this up in a thrift store on my way between places. Wasn't really going to get it, but I couldn't resist it. I have ordered one of the games that you could use this on. The golf game was only like $4 on eBay, so I grabbed that. But the second game, Dark Wind, that says you can use this device with, I think I've only seen it on eBay over in Europe, and it's about $24 just to buy the game, and then another $30-40 to post it to Australia. So unless I see one in Australia, I don't think I'll worry about the second game. But I will do a video on this. I'm looking forward to that. So it's motion sensor. So this is well before the Wii was released, I believe. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, trying that out.
Welcome to Real World Golf, the revolutionary game track system that mirrors every aspect of your swing directly into the video game. Swing the club to play the most realistic and exciting video game ever. GameTrack's Real World Golf puts you inside the game like never before. Available for Xbox, PlayStation 2, or PC. Rated E for everyone.
This next lot of things I also spoke about in my last video, and that is friends and neighbours of mine when I lived in another town. I was down there for other reasons. Came over. First thing they give me is this Game Boy Advance SP. Fully works. So I was really happy to get that. Christine gave me a Game Boy Advance for Christmas, so now I've got the Game Boy SP, so I'm really happy to put that beside that one. Along with that, I did get a small stack of games. So I got, first up for the Game Boy Advance, I got GT3 and Moto, that's a motorbike game, I think. So I got that as well. I got Spider-Man 3. Oh, sorry, Spider-Man 2. Correction. Got the Incredibles. Spyro Season Ice. And SpongeBob the movie on the Game Boy Advance. Also, along with that, a Game Boy Color, I think it's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, it's a bit of a spin out to think that Harry Potter was out and we still were getting games on the Game Boy Color. You just assume that, everyone was using the Game Boy Advance by that stage. So I got that. I was quite happy to get that because I don't have a lot of Game Boy Color games, so I'm really happy with that. Hopefully the battery is still good on that. So I did plug it in and it did work. Now I've got two more games that they gave me, and I spun out about these. I got two N64 games. The first one is Hot Wheels for the N64. Game game is Quake 2. I knew Quake was out on the N64. I didn't realise Quake 2 also made it to the N64, so I was quite happy to see that. So they're the games that I got. I did pick up a friend of mine who I was talking to about Where in the World's Come Say. He was also a big fan of the franchise, and he had Where in the World's Come San Diego on the Amiga, and he got rid of his Amiga a long time ago, but he did keep his world all the way back from 1990. Now the version I've got is from 1985, but it should help out when playing that game. Mainly this was here to help you when they give you clues and you can look it up and see it. But yeah, it was nice to put that in my collection. Hopefully I'll be able to get the right version for the copy I've got, because like I said, like my friend here, he's kept the book and got rid of the game. So there could be somebody out there looking for this one as well now. Well, that's it. That's all the stuff I picked up in April. In the comments down below, let me know if you had any of these games and which one did you think was the best find I found in April. And don't forget to like and share, because it really does help out this channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because it lets you know when I upload a new video. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!